Hello friends, it's Kathy Clement with Kathy by Design. Are you ready to make something beautiful today for Throwback Thursday? I have a delightful spring themed card made with Spellbinders Vista window and Botanical Solarium dies and Carta Bella Here, There, Everywhere papers. This is a happy card. On the inside, I've dressed it all up with designer papers and then created a gift pocket with a sweet little envelope and a tea bag, a honey stick, a bookmark, and a sweet little bee-themed note card. If you'd like to learn how to make this fun card, stick around because the tutorial is coming up next. It's springtime almost here in North Carolina, and so I'm feeling like bright, sunny colors and flowers and bees and all the fun things we associate with the springtime. So I pulled out my 2023 Here, There, and Everywhere papers from Carta Bella. And this is a really sweet little collection. Lots of bright, happy colors and pretty florals, great for springtime. I have the 6x6 pad. I have the ephemera pack that has all of these like little frames and tags and sayings. I have the chipboard. And then I also have some pieces of the 12x12 left. So here's a quick look at those patterns. I know y'all really like to see what's inside a collection. I like that too. And you can see I've used this collection a fair bit. Some of the patterns are pretty well used up. But just a really great color palette for spring. Super bright florals. All these great little images. 4x4s. This banner is so cute. And then sticker sheet. So I also pulled out my Spellbinders Windows with a View dies. I have the Vista View window, which I've used this so much already. I used it to make a banner. I used it to make shaker windows on the banner. I've used it to make shaker cards. I mean, it's just a great, great die. And I love the embossing around the edge of the window pane. So there's this part, and then there's on the back, you've got this window box with the lattice overlay, which I used on a card earlier this week. And then you've got this little wooden ledge, and we're going to use the wooden ledge today because I'm pairing this die up with another die set from this collection. This is called the Botanical Solarium, and here's all the pieces. Little butterflies, lots of stems and flowers and leaves and filler pieces. And then on this side, you've got this great terracotta pot, or whatever kind of pot you want to make it to be. These plant inserts, some little gardening tools, this lovely pitcher, that's great for displaying florals. And I want to show you how we're going to use this today. So I started by creating a shaker window because I just never get tired of making shakers. They're so fun. And I did a little mixed media work on this window frame. I'm going to hold it up so you can see the embossed detail, which is beautiful. I cut this twice out of craft paper, and then I inked it up with Gathered Twigs Distress ink pretty heavily. And then I came in with a chalk paint, just a kind of an off-white chalk paint, and brushed that entirely over one of the frames. And then the last thing I did was I came in and sprayed with just a little bit of metallic mist. I wanted to create the look of an old chippy window frame. I glued the two window frames together to make them extra sturdy. I used this die, this outer frame die, to cut a backer piece for my window with these cute bees and daisies. Then to make the shaker window, I glued my window frame onto acetate or clear cardstock, whichever term you're more familiar with. Using my Dries Clear adhesive, I added 2 rows of foam tape and then put my shaker elements, and these are Buttons Galore and More. They're sprinklets, these cute little Mirasol. And then this is one of their Lilac Lane shaker mixes. This is called Sunflower Sky. I liked the blues and yellows and bright whites in there. I thought it would look really cute in the window. So I put those in there together. I put this on the backer sheet of the bees, then pressed my shaker frame cover into place, and that made the shaker. The card base is a 5x7 top fold with a 3/8 inch scored line. So to make this, I took 2 5x8.5 inch sheets of this heavy yellowy cream cardstock. And I put 1/4 inch score tape on one edge. You can barely see it right there where I joined it. And then joined these 2 panels together. I scored at 7 and 7 3/8. Then I folded and I scored again at 7. And that gave me this little flap to be my pocket. I added gussets to the pocket and folded it up. So that's how I made this 5x7 with 8.5 by 1 sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper. Here I've lined this with patterned papers from the collection, added some of the little banner stickers here, a little sticker piece here, and then here's our pocket. So everything kind of goes together, and I created a little mini envelope, and in here I'm probably going to tuck in some tea and maybe some honey or chocolate, something like that. So that's the inside of the card. What I want to work with you on is the cover. So to make the cover, this is a not quite 4 7/8 by not quite 6 7/8 inch piece of this yellow gold check from the paper collection. And then over that, I adhered a not quite 4 7/8 inch by 5 inch of this patterned from the 12 by 12. And then I had this little scrap of this pastel plaid, diagonal plaid from the paper pad, and I just trimmed it to fit. I stitched all the way around, and then I did zigzag stitch here and here, top and bottom. So this is our base. I'm going to bring in my shaker window, and we're just going to glue this down onto our paper. So I've got a nice amount of glue on the back of my shaker window, and I'm going to line this up so that it's pretty much right in the center, but along the bottom edge of our floral patterned paper. And I'm just going to press this into place. Okay, that's so cute with those little bees in the background. Now I'm going to show you how to build a really cute little banner. This is burlap string that I've twisted together, and I tied a knot on each end. And I have these large letter tiles from the chipboard packet. All right, and I'm going to come in with my glue gun. I'm going to put the glue in the center of the twine, and I'm going to take this center pea and stick it down. There's my H. My A. Another P. then our Y. And I want to let that glue set up just a little bit before I lift it off of my craft mat. So now that everything has set up here, we're going to come in with our little banner and we're going to string it across the top, and it's so cute. So I'm just going to put hot glue on the back of my letters. I'm going to center the center P with my window. That is so cute. And then I found this darling enamel bee in my stash. And I'm going to glue this down with my Dries Clear adhesive, because hot glue will not work on metal, but Dries Clear adhesive will. And I'm going to put this right here, and I'm not going to touch it until it sets up. But that is really, really adorable. Okay. Now, I want to build my little plant shelf. I die cut my plant shelf twice out of craft card stock, and then treated it the same way that I did the window. I've got 2 rows of 1/8 inch foam tape on the bottom, and we're just going to glue this down. Right here. All right, so now we've got this sweet little plant. So now we're going to fill our little plant pots, and these are so cute. They have 3 pieces for each plant pot, and they cut all with the same swipe. So I cut my pots themselves out of a color called Faded Brick, and I'll link to that. And then I use little scraps of my yellow check to do the little topper and bottom piece. I also die cut several of each of the botanical elements. This is actually a Christmas paper, but I liked it because it was somewhat textured. And we're just going to fill this pot. Let me see. Yeah. So I'm just putting my adhesive on the stems. And then I've got one more that's going to kind of just fill in. And I cut this one out of a different color of cardstock just to provide some contrast, because in real life, leaves are not all the same color. So I'm just going to tuck this in, kind of in like that. This is a debossed area on the die, and I took a copper Sharpie marker and just went in and emphasized it a little bit to make the zigzag really show. So this is going to sit right here on our shelf, only I want to put some foam tape on the back so that it looks a little more dimensional. So this is going to sit like this, kind of hanging off the edge. Now I have another pot, and I've got these really fun leafy greens that come with the set. And I can see where you could use these actually with other, like you could tuck this into a floral arrangement, and that would be really nice. Like I can see multi-purposes for these. And I love that when a die can be used for more than one thing. And again, I've got a third one that's just going to go in the back just to make it look nice and full and healthy. All right. Oops. All right. And this one's going to sit over against this edge. Then I made these adorable little gardening tools. I just think these are the sweetest. And I die cut these twice. Once out of the silver metallic paper and once out of craft cardstock. And then I layered them together to make them nice and sturdy. We're going to put a little foam tape on these. And we're going to put them on our little gardening bench, just like that. And then here's the little digging fork. I think I'm just going to cross this one over and glue it down. Aren't these the cutest? I love little things like this. And then I've got these little stems that I'm just going to have laying on the bench. And these are also double layer, which is very, very nice. You cut the base out of the green and then you come back with scraps of your designer paper. So cute. Ah, I love when things work out like this. They're just so sweet. This is so fun. I love my job. I love what I get to do. This one's just going to go right here, like they've been cut, freshly cut, and they're just laying on the bench, or maybe they're waiting to be potted. I don't know which one is true, but very sweet. All right, I think that's good for that. I am going to take this half circle banner and put it right here, almost like a button. Now I've got a bow to go over here on the side. This is yellow gold checkerboard satin ribbon. It's 3/8 inch, and I tied a triple loop bow. And I want this to come in behind this one potted plant, and I'm just going to use my scissor to help me position it. Okay. And then I've tied a burlap string bow to go on top of it. So I just want to finish this off with a sweet little bee charm that I'm going to tuck into our floral cluster and a pretty blue button to go right on top of our bow. Pull my leaf out from under there. There we go. And that is a really cute and happy little card. What a nice way to brighten up somebody's day with this sweet little card. All these bees and sunflowers and a shaker window. This will go on the cover. friends, there we are. We've got our card cover put on our card base. This turned out so cute and bright and pretty. I love this little bee that's kind of hanging out here in the plant pots. And now you know how to use this potting shed bench to create this really cute Botanical Solarium card with Spellbinders dies and Carta Bella here, there, and everywhere. All right, I'm going to put a linked supply list on my blog, and I'll put the link to my blog in the description box below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you again soon. Kathy Clement, Kathy by Design. Go get your craft on.